What's good, guys? CJ here, and today we're gonna talk about Duet Night Abyss. Now, I have been playing this game quite a bit. Let me actually show you guys how long I've been playing this game. We are about to be at 19 hours streamed over here on my YouTube and Twitch channel. So dare I say, I've been playing this game quite a bit. Now, when it comes to my account level, I gotta show you, I'm currently level 41 on my account. And when it comes to my character, we got my baby girl Rebecca looking good. She is level 50. She's my main character on the account. Her weapons are also level 50. Overall, she's pretty well built, right? And I have put some work into other characters. I put a little bit of work into PB over here. And then other than that, I really haven't gone into any of the other characters simply because I just don't want to, right? And I'm giving you guys a little treat by watching my baby girl Rebecca. Now, I gotta tell you, there's a lot of things we gotta talk about this game. And I felt that I really wanted to go deep and talk about the game, explore a lot of the different modes of the game before I gave y'all my first impressions. There's still so much more to try from this game, but I wanted to get, you know, my hands pretty much into as much as I could. Now, we're already caught up with the story, to be continued for now. We have done a lot of side quests. We literally just cleared my side quest board on stream, and then as soon as I finished my last side quest, boom, more popped up. So we have more grinding to do, and there's a lot of different things to do in the game that I still haven't tried. Now, let's actually talk about how my experience has been so far. I gotta say, I've been having fun. But we'll talk about that in a second. First off, I'm gonna talk about what a lot of you know, Doom posters, salty people, and, you know, the people that want to talk crap about these games want to hear. Yes, the game has been having a lot of issues. There have been a lot of disconnects. There has been a lot of bugs. There has been a lot of, you know, jank scenarios when it comes to the game since its launch. A lot of people have been stuck in, like, loading screens. I personally have had to close the game out a few times just so I'm able to complete quests. Like, I'll be in the middle of a quest, and it'll tell me, like, I don't know, open the door, and then all the doors will be locked, and I can't open them. So I'll have to close out the game, open the game again, and then now I'm able to open the door. Or use the terminal, and then I can't use the terminal because it's not active, so I'll have to close out the game, open it up. It's happened a lot. There is this one mission where, like, the ceiling starts falling apart, and the walls start falling apart. Walls literally fell on me, and I was stuck in the wall. So, yeah, there's been a lot of bugs with the game. People have had a lot of, like, loading issues where they're playing the game and they're just stuck in loading. But, despite all that, I've been able to get a lot of grind. Enough to complete the story, get me to level 41, do a crap ton of side quests, get my character fully decked out, so far the one that I like, and test out a lot of the game modes, all on stream. If you guys want to go back, check out the VOD and all that good stuff. So while there have been a lot of issues regarding the server stability, I've still been able to play. I've still been able to get everything done, and it hasn't been one of those things where I'm getting, you know, disconnected constantly, or I've been, you know, having to restart my game constantly. It happens here and there, yes, but it hasn't been, like, absolutely dramatic. Now, that's the first negative that I gotta give towards the game. The servers on launch day have been cooked. Let's just be real, right? It happens with a lot of games. It's just the way it is nowadays. But the servers have had a lot of issues. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is also on the negative side before we get into all the positives that I have, you know, seen with the game is the game feels undercooked, at least for me. Right, I'm telling y'all, I'm enjoying the game and I will continue to play the game even more, but the game does feel undercooked. There's a lot of things that I feel can be improved. The movement system in the game is kind of lackluster, right? At least for me, right? I'm gonna give y'all a little glimpse once again. Yeah. That's the best part of the movement system in the game. But yeah, the movement system in the game feels relatively lackluster. You have these dashes, right? And as you can see, you have 2 dashes, and if you dash twice and then you try to dash again, you're going to get this little thing on your screen that won't stop popping up. And I'm going to be honest with you, That's kind of annoying, a little immersion breaking, a little ugly on your screen. Only having 2 dashes when there are enemies and bosses that will literally spam attack, you know, a bunch of skills on you, and you're trying to like dodge, and then you try to dodge again, and now you have this stupid thing popping up. It's kind of annoying. I feel like you should definitely have more dodges. Shit, 5 would be a normal amount for a game where the enemies are going to be dropping this many skills on you. So that's one thing. The transition into like sliding into, you know, the bullet jumping and all that, it's not as smooth as it could be, or at least as it feels like in Warframe, for example, which this game takes great inspiration from. Another thing is the fact that when you go to shoot your gun, right, you can't aim and then shoot. You just go straight into shooting, at least from what I've seen so far. So for example, you can't just aim. You go into shooting instantly, which is kind of annoying because there are mechanics like this where, like, you know, you're gliding in the air, and a lot of people like doing this, and it's kind of annoying because I just want to aim and you really can't do that, right? So that's one of the things that kind of have been annoying, you know, the movement, the specific things regarding that scenario. Now, another thing that I gotta say feels a little bit undercooked is the combat in and of itself. While it has been fun, and I understand that it's pretty much Warframe, right? It's not very solid. It feels a little loose. Like, you'll be fighting bosses, and sometimes you just go straight through them, right? And in a game that you have this many skills, it feels a little loose on that end. I do feel like they have the opportunity to, you know, cook that up a little bit more. So that has been my kind of negative experience with the game so far. I feel that it's a little bit undercooked. I feel that they have, you know, maybe released certain aspects of the game a little bit too fast, and it could have been better, right? At least that's my opinion on the game. But now that I've talked about those things that I personally think aren't the best with the game, I gotta talk about some of the good things, right? Because I have enjoyed the game. Oh, there's one more thing before I talk about that. I want to say this because I particularly think this is very important. The very beginning of this game, and it happens with a lot of games nowadays, is very slow. So much so that I was literally yawning on stream, and that was like 15 hours ago, and I'm still awake. The very beginning of the game, the first 4 hours are very slow. And not only are they slow, but they kind of point you in so many scenarios that you don't know kind of what to do. It feels too loose. Like, they're introducing all these mechanics throughout the story and the tutorials, and then you're there kind of like, where do I go? What do I do? Right? And that's kind of annoying, right? So once you're able to get past those first like 4 or 5 hours, then the game starts feeling a little bit more solid. You got a general idea of what you want to do. You're understanding, you know, the character building, the weapon improvements, all those things. So usually when you play this game for like 2-3 hours, you might not really enjoy it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now let's talk about what I've enjoyed about the game. Honestly, first off, the characters look pretty good. There are things in there that I also don't like, and I don't want this video to come out as me just hating the game, because I'm pointing out things that are facts up to this point, right? But the characters do look really good. I've enjoyed some of the character designs, and I'm not just talking about the gooning aspects of the game, because let's be honest, this skin in particular is really damn good. I really like it. It is a paid skin. It is the Christmas skin, but damn does it look good. But there are some really good designs to some of the characters that I found to be, you know, at least for me, pretty damn cool, right? Like, I really like Rebecca. I think she's freaking cool. I think that Outsider looks really damn cool as well. For a male character, he looks really damn cool, right? We have Lady Niffle over here. She looks like she's a badass. She looks really cool. You have characters over here like Psyche. She's pretty nice, pretty standard, but pretty cool. She has wings and she's able to fly up in the air. You have characters like Leon over here. Yo, she caked up on a Thursday afternoon. She's pretty cool, gunslinger girl. You have your typical baddie, Sibylle. She's hot. She looks good. She caked up on a Thursday afternoon too. You got Fantasio, aka Cristoforo, aka Brandt over here. You got Hellfire, a whole demon waifu with the heavies. So they got some pretty good designs, right? They got some pretty cool designs. Nothing like game-breaking for gacha, but they do got some good designs. With that, I do want to say that they do have some BS going on, because let me just show you something, right? Let me just show y'all something. This right here is Rebecca's 2D art. Who is this? This is not this. I just want to point that out. She got no lips. Where them blue lips at? She got white hair. Why she got blue hair? I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying. There's other things that we can talk about, but this is the Temu version of Rebecca. This is Fire Rebecca. This is bootleg Rebecca. Even though I'm saying that, I still like Rebecca. But yes, this looks very cheap compared to this 2D art. I feel like she should have had white hair, just like this. She should have 100% had that blue lipstick on. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I love Rebecca. I'm maining Rebecca. I literally got catfished by this picture. I ain't even going to lie to y'all, chat. Right? Now, moving away from that, I got to say, the way that you play the game, where you have the character that you like and you're able to, you know, build them up and take them into your missions, and then at the same time you're able to, like, have your other characters and bring them with you, is pretty cool. You don't have to do it, but as you can see, I just summoned them and now they're with me. If I'm running around the world, if I'm doing missions, I can play with my other characters. If I so desire, I can play with other players, or I can play with myself in the game. Okay? Now, it's not just that I really, really like. There's also other things that I've really enjoyed about the game when it comes to the characters. More specifically, the building of the characters. So, I'm going to just show you something real quick now. If we go over to the characters, right, they have different weapons. Now, each character is going to have weapons that they're better with, they have more proficiency with. So, for example, Rebecca is good with polearms and grenade launchers, right, which is really, really cool. You want to ideally equip her with those, but you can just equip them with whatever weapons you want. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, as long as you're doing something that works with the character. Now, the weapons, the characters, and the ranged weapons all have these things called demon wedges. These are pretty much like mods that you can equip to these characters, to these weapons, that literally change the entirety of how these weapons work, how they play, you know, their ability, their damage, their duration, everything, right? So, to give you a quick example, I'm going to show you this real quick, right? I believe it's this one right here. Yep. Let me take this off real quick. There we go. Now, I'm going to show you my polearm. This is my weapon right here, my polearm. I'm going to show you how it plays, right? So, this is my polearm. I'm doing my regular combo, just basic attacking, right? This is how it plays. Right, and I wanna point out that the demon wedge that I'm about to show you, or the mod, is a basic mod that I got from the story. Everybody gets it pretty much, and it's just something that gives you an idea of what you're gonna step into. So once again, the very basic combo of the weapon, right? Now, if we go back into the character, we go into the weapon, right? And now we go ahead and we equip. Not that one, it's this one. We equip this one right here. As you could see, upgrades polearm normal attacks to summon phantom spears that strike the target and deals double the damage of the standard attack. So, not only do you get the buff of, you know, doubling the damage, but now this is what your gameplay is going to look like. On the same exact weapon, this is how it's going to look like now. And this same thing applies to your character, to your ranged weapon, to your melee weapon, to everything. These mods will effectively make your characters feel completely different the more you build them, the more you play them, the more you actually take the time to do your builds, which is really, really cool. And that's something that I find very interesting. It allows me to build my characters to do things exactly how I want them. Now, another thing that I've really enjoyed, personally, is the ability to make synergies with some of these units. So for example, my main character has been Rebecca, and the reason I like using Rebecca is because she's really good at like wave content, farming, and all that good stuff. And there's a lot of stages that you guys will see that are really, really like mob heavy. You'll be doing like defenses and all this stuff, and you'll have a bunch of enemies like attacking you, a bunch of trash mobs, but a bunch of enemies, right? So she has things where she like summons turrets, as you can see right here, bop, and then these things will pulsate, and as that's happening, they will kill the enemies, and this has been great for farming, right? Now, we go over here with my other character, and this is a character that I like to use as a support. She's like the Verena of this game, right? So she has an ability right here, heals truffles and allies and increases their damage. So you have a healer and a buffer, so I like having her on the team because she's going to give me that damage boost, which is a very, very nice damage boost. The damage boost duration is pretty nice, and then we're going to get some healing out of it as well. Once again, this is something that has been really good because you don't need to use these characters, but you can use them, and you can summon them as you're doing your mission, and they'll help you out. Then we have the MC, which is also a pretty interesting character. On top of that, this dude, or chick, is going to be able to do some nice stuff. Grant self and allies both Ultra Shield and Incandescence, right? Which is really damn good. You guys could see what they do right here. Once again, a buffer pretty much. So you're able to work with these characters, and a lot of times I haven't had to use them, like whatsoever. I haven't had to use them, but I've enjoyed using them. And that has been pretty cool when it comes to team building. Another thing and another aspect that I've enjoyed of the game has been the activities that you're able to do. The commissions. You're able to pretty much, from what I've experienced so far in 19 hours of gameplay, you're able to farm these scenarios that normally would give you the materials that you need without needing energy. You don't need energy. You don't need stamina. These things right here just give you more drops, but you don't need to use them in order to go ahead and run these dungeons. I'm pretty sure there is no limit to the amount of entries that you can do for most of the dungeons in the game. There are some that have, I believe it's weekly limits, but outside of those, all the materials that I'm seeing so far, like to level up your weapons and all that stuff, you can pretty much challenge them without needing stamina, which has been really, really cool. There's no like entry amount cap. There's none of that. These things right here, which are your demon wedges, your mods, from what I'm seeing as well, you don't need stamina, and you don't need to like do anything a certain amount of times. You can pretty much just go in and go. There are certain things that will lock you out per week after a certain amount of tries, and from what I've seen so far, that is only Nocturnal Echoes, which is a way to get some of these nice blueprints and some of these character blueprints that you can also farm character blueprints outside of this particular, you know, mode right here, right? So you have all these boss challenges that you can do right here, and you're going to be able to get some of these things right here, but you can farm these in other areas as well. I just want to keep that in mind so you guys know you can also farm your characters in other scenarios, right? I want to point that out so you guys don't think that you're not able to do that, okay? This is the only modes that I've seen that pretty much has your weekly entry limit, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bosses at least so far right here, and each one gives you 5 entries. So yo, that's a pretty decent amount when it comes to these weekly bosses, right? And they get a little bit difficult, at least for now. I tried this one right here. I got up to 50. I did beat it, but it was a little bit of a challenge, right? They was doing damage, and they were taking a while to be taken down. Other than that, there's a lot of things that I personally haven't gotten to experience myself. There's a lot of grinding, a lot of game modes because of my level. And for example, the forge. And here you're able to literally craft a lot of things that are going to be quite interesting in the game, right? A lot of materials, a lot of things to craft, weapons and things of the sort that are pretty interesting. one last thing that I want to add has been the Geniemons. Geniemons are literally like little partners, little like the echoes that you have on Wuwa, for example, right? You catch them in the open world. Like, you're literally walking and you could see a random Geniemon and you can tell where they are or how they look because they'll have like a little glow to them. I'm trying to see if I can find one real quick. They'll have like a little glow to them. You'll be able to tell where they're at. Point is, these little Geniemons are basically, think about them like little partners, little Pokemon, and they give you buffs, right? They give you abilities, they give you buffs that some are pretty damn cool, right? So for example, we get this one in the story. Increases the attack of all summons by a certain amount, increases hydro attack of the main character and the combat partners, and there's a lot of these, right? And they have very, very interesting functionalities. And once again, there is no limit to the amount that you can catch in terms of like just going around catching them, because you use bait or food to catch these things, and there is different rarity of bait. And you do gotta craft rarer bait to have better odds, but you have infinite bait of the common bait. So you can go ahead and use common bait to keep catching these as you go. On top of that, you have the shiny versions of them. They'll be sparkling, they'll be all glowy, all pretty, all fancy. Now, I've only got one of these, so I can compare with another version of it to see if I get like more stats or more stuff, but all I know is that they're shiny, so that's kind of cool. They got the little sparkles, very much like shiny Pokemons in any Pokemon game. So they're little things that allow you to do more activities, right? Over here you have your covert missions, which is for characters, for weapons, for demon wedges, and basically you can go ahead and farm these things without a problem. So let's say you want to farm Lynn, you can get them from the shop, which is where you would get her letters, right? Right here. Using your secret letter clues. I have 688 secret letter clues. You get these by simply farming the game, just exploring, doing missions, killing mobs, picking them off the ground. You get these doing all kinds of things, and you exchange 10 of these for a specific secret letter from the character. Now, you would do a mission, and once you have a secret letter, you have a chance to get shards. Once you get enough shards, you're able to craft your character. Now, it is RNG based when it comes to how many shards you get when you're using these secret letters, right? But with this many, you're able to at least get yourself a couple of these characters literally right now, day one. That's how fast you can farm these characters if you know what you're doing. I've literally seen people with Sibylle, walking around with Lady Nifl, walking around with Leon, within the first few hours of the game being out. I don't know many games that allow you to do that right off the bat, which is pretty damn cool. The same thing goes for the weapons, and the same thing goes for the demon wedges, which we can't farm yet, because we're not at that level. But overall, that's my opinions on the game so far. My first impressions. I would rate the game currently a 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. I know the meme, 7 out of 10. But I will say this game has a lot of potential if the developers really buckle up and, you know, they improve the movement, they improve the climbing, they improve the hit connection with the enemies and all that good stuff. I feel that the game could be so good, because the game has a good foundation to be even better. And I think that right now we got to give it a little bit of time. Maybe not crucify the devs, crucify the game. Maybe give them a little bit of time, because the game does have a solid foundation and it does have potential. But it does, like pretty much every other game, have its issues nowadays. So let's wait a few days. Let's go ahead and see. But overall, that's my first impressions of the game. I will be going live again once I sleep, because I'm a little bit fried after 19 hours of streaming. And I will be going live once again for a good 10 hours or so, farming the game, building my characters, getting my grind on, and overall experiencing what the game has in store. There's a lot more things I can talk about that I'm sure you guys want to know. How to get characters, which I kind of went into it. Do characters have dupes? Can you farm dupes? What types of game modes out there? And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the game, but This is my first impressions. I just wanted to make sure that I brought you guys a video that was not opinion based. I'm not telling you the game is good. I'm not telling you the game is bad. I'm telling you I had fun with the game. I had these issues. You guys shouldn't care what I gotta say. Go play the video yourself. Go watch the video yourself. Go play the game. Go see for yourself how the game feels. And the only tip of advice, the only little tip that I can give you is give it more than 4 or 5 hours. I know it's a lot to ask, and you should see if you like a game after a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. But the game really starts to pick up after around 4 to 5 hours. Now, if you get into the game and you don't like the graphics, well, the graphics ain't gonna change after 3 to 5 hours. If you get into the game and you don't like the way the map looks, the world looks, that probably won't change either. If you don't like the way that moving feels, that probably won't change either all too much. But if you're still unsure, give the game a little bit of time. You start getting your bearings, put yourself a goal, improving your character, improving your team, and you'll probably enjoy it a little bit more. I don't think the game is perfect. I don't think the game is great, but I also don't think the game is horrible. It's enjoyable, definitely an enjoyable experience, and I'm looking forward to trying it a little more and see what Duet Night Abyss has to offer. But that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.